What is going on, guys? Today we are looking at Maldini, one of the greatest centre-backs on this game, and honestly a pleasure to play with. And I'm interested because we saw Cantona yesterday. Centre-backs sometimes are a hefty price, especially if your name is Maldini. And I had a funny feeling 1.6 mil is crazy. Like, that is absolutely ridiculous to get literally an endgame centre-back for that cheap, especially when he's not been out ages upon ages. If you get what I mean, if you've been playing FIFA for a fair few years, you know full well that the top icons are stupidly priced. They're normally 5 mil, 6 mil. They're not even dropped at this point. We've got 1.6 to 1.7 mil for a Maldini now. Before Team of the Season, yes, I would suggest waiting for Team of the Season to happen because we are going to have a lot of duplicates, a lot of SBCs, and all of that good stuff. And as well, we have got Icon Swaps 2 Icon Swaps 3 coming at some point. So let's have a look at this SBC. Cantona was probably coming in at just short, I think just over a mil yesterday. So I can imagine he's got to be in that sort of reign. So 12 SBCs, so we've got 2 already bronze and silver. That's a standard. We started an 83, goes straight up to the 85, 2 86s, 2 87s, 2 88s, and 2 89s. We need a team of the week in each of them. So you do need a team of the week in 89 and 88. So that is going to be quite expensive. Probably around about the 1.4 to 1.5 without taking like massive numbers into consideration. But I believe Cantona, Maldini, they're endgame players. They are players that will stay in your club, stay in your team for most of the game, and that'd be it. Like, you'd be absolutely sorted with them. Maldini, top-end centre-back, probably, for me, the greatest centre-back in the game, regardless of who you're going to put up there. I think animation-wise and just generically how he is as a centre-back, he is the best. From using his mid, his prime, his moments throughout many years, there is very few centre-backs that get to this sort of level. Some of the team of the years do. Some of the big team of the seasons definitely get close, but I think Maldini for me just has, I don't know what it is, he just has that wow factor. So we're going to jump into him. We've got some rivals to play. We're going to see what he can do in that defence. Right-footed, medium-high with 6'1", and the funny thing is with him, bar from his defence, the stats are not like crazy. So we've got the 87 pace, 86, 87 on the breakdown. Bit of passing, can't argue with that. Short. Dribbling wise, agility balance is probably about average for a centre back. Great reactions, great composure. Defending is practically as good as it's going to get. The physicality, nothing really too crazy there. People are going to be whacking the catalyst on him just to get the max out on that pace, and we're going to do the same. 97 pace, 84 passing, gives him 95 and 92 short and long in that order, so it's going to be a good card. So let's jump into him, see what he can do in that defense, and hopefully we can showcase the defending that is Maldini. Also, make sure you like and subscribe. Varane over him in the midfield. I would have thought maybe heading might have been with Maldini, but oh, that's a beautiful finish. I do think it's interesting to always see who's going to be your kind of person in the middle in terms of in the box. Maldini I would have put definitely as the winner, but Varane, to be fair to him, has been absolutely sensational in that box position. Maldini really pushing forward, and normally the one thing that I do find with Maldini is positioning is absolutely insane. I think as well, if you're going to link him with somebody like a cheeky Varane, we're nearly giving it away there. When you've got the top end centre backs, a team of the year Diaz, you've got Marquinhos, Kimpembe, you are looking at absolute cheat codes. Even a nice Virgil, I'm pretty sure team of the season is on the cards for him in terms of Prem, so it's going to be filthy with a Maldini in the team. To Maldini to clear. We've got a bit of passing on him now. Obviously that catalyst is going to come in absolute wonders as he tries to take the ball off Paqueta without him knowing. You know, watching a bit of Diaz. It's funny because even just, look at that, that is beautiful. Even kind of just that little bit of a 10 increase on the pace, it seems to work really well for Maldini. Holds on to most of the strikers. I don't know if that's is just starting positioning or what it is, because the agility balance obviously doesn't go up. You can't whack an engine on him. Well, I suppose you could, but you wouldn't want to miss out on that 10 pace, whereas I think his kind of agility balance just it works for some reason, and yet we've seen centre-backs with far better agility, balance, and even stats all round looking good, but they're just not even in the same class. Stepping up on Workhorse, beautiful, gets the recovery, very poor defending from myself, really pushing Maldini forward, and then he still manages to make the tackle just before he goes and gets that shot off. Maldini with Verghorst again. He knows it is not going to go through him, and I think that's the big thing with Maldini is, as well, just because people know how good he actually is, they tend to stay away, even though we've got Varane on the other side. They would much rather take a Varane than a Maldini, and that speaks absolute volumes. Cleaning it up, a little bit of skills, you never know. Maldini's got it in his locker, and I think the really cool thing as well with Maldini is I think it's 3 sets of generations that have either scored or played for AC Milan. That is a stat and a half that I don't think many families can probably compete with, to be honest. I'm being told that he's coming in at about a 1.8. Don't know what sort of market that's on, if that's PS or Xbox. But to be fair, I could probably see it. I think anywhere close to 2 million I'd have probably understood. With him obviously being 1.6, 1.7 on the market now, I would have maybe assumed 1.7 would have been fair. Could we get a penalty for that? But I'll absolutely take it. I think 2 mil for this sort of kind of centre-back, as well as team of the season around the corner, get him done pretty easily. He's out for, 90 days, same as everybody else. Can't argue, especially when you've obviously got to take into consideration your packs back, obviously using fodder that's untradeable, so you get no value from that, especially duplicates as well. That's going to be the massive one, I think, during team of the season. I think a lot of people forget really how much fodder we actually do get, that most of the time, to be fair, volley that. Oh, Neymar. The fodder that we do get is absolutely nuts. And to be honest, I think I've given away 86s, 87s. With these amount of icon SBCs, it's absolutely perfect for it. Oh, nearly gets in on it there. Just shows his ability. I think interception is just the massive, massive thing for him. Maldini switching to a bit of Salah. Has to kick it away. It's giving him the chance. Maldini back in position, and I think it was offside, thank God. I thought it was a penalty. Maldini, not a chance whatsoever. Not getting that cross in. Maldini didn't say you could. So then if we're going into Maldini's overall then, let's have a look and see what that SBC is coming in at. It's got 300. So you got pretty much, 900 across the board here. Give or take. Yeah, probably about 1.2, say, for the 288s and the 89s. You then have another 200 on top. So that's 1.4, 1.5, 1.6, 1.7, say 1.89. Yeah, it's about 1.8 to 1.9 mil, and that's being very lenient with some of the coins. So he is more expensive than naturally what his tradable price is, which we can imagine. We got the same with Cantona. How much was he coming in at? 1.34. To be fair, his value is very, very good for what he is, whereas Maldini, he's just literally one of the best centre-backs you can get. Like, naturally, the centre-backs you're going to have a look at in terms of who you could kind of go for instead of Maldini would be, I'd say Marquinhos is still up there. I love Team of the Year Marquinhos. You then look in Varane, SBC, definitely worth doing. Who else have you got? It'd be other icons. I just want to see if there's any other cards that I'd kind of scream out. Virgil is always solid. I think Team of the Season will be penultimate for him, really. He'll be that'll be his version, really. Rudiger isn't a bad shout as a cheaper version. And then there probably is a couple more without kind of scrolling through every single one. Icon-wise, though, we have got, I know Cannavaro is always absolutely solid, but a little bit smaller, doesn't have necessarily the presence that Maldini does. But in this year, I would be looking, Maldini obviously is prime if you wanted to go there. Desai isn't awful. Rio is always decent. I don't think this year he kind of has that wow factor compared to other years for some reason. Blanc is always fantastic at positioning, and I'd probably say that's about it. We haven't got a major amount of standout centre-backs. Maldini is clear at the top by a country mile, as we can tell from the prices. I don't think there is. Is there another centre-back that is a mil other than his other card? I think that's probably about the only one, to be fair. So for me, it kind of just shows he's almost almost 1,000,000 coins more expensive than every other icon moment centre back. So I would say 100% get this one grinded out. Make sure you are grinding it with your untradables. Don't go spending coins, because you can get this done all the way up until the 21st of July. That is so much time. We're going to have icon swaps free. We're going to have team of the season. We're going to be in footies. There's so much SBC follow that you can get. These will be an absolute doddle as we go forward. He was always a 10 out of 10 centre back. Catalyst is definitely you want to go for. 97 pace, 84 passing. You can't argue. Other than that, you could possibly go anchor or engine. I would 100% recommend the Catalyst. Gets the most out of that pace, and then obviously the engine does give you a little bit more agility balance, but I don't think that's a massive issue when in game with this guy, because he is phenomenal. 10 out of 10 centre back, 100% would recommend. SBC coming in at an okay price, nothing too crazy cheap, but then again, nothing too crazy expensive that you can't get done over the 90 days. So let me know down below if you have a Maldini or you're going to complete him. Make sure you like and subscribe on this, and I'll see you all tomorrow for Friday. Whenever. Peace.